while it was doing like a like a fix and flip type of neighborhood. And I took a
Yeah.
picture of it because as I was driving by, the whole exterior looked pretty bad shape. You know, he needed the trimming around the roof to be redone, and that kind of like says like, okay, typically if the outside looks bad, the inside looks just as bad, if not worse, right? So I looked him up, and he's a guy that bought it 30 years ago, and he's a veteran. What is the best way to approach him to, because I don't want to be that guy that's just kind of like, okay, I want to buy your house and you're not going to have anywhere to live. So what's the best way to contact with them to try see if they want to sell and be respectful at the same time?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you should always be respectful no matter what, but you're just having a conversation with
Of
them.
course.
Maybe they don't want to move. Maybe they have no desire to sell. Maybe they aren't experiencing any issues. Maybe they like their house like that. But your job is to call them, reach out to them, see if there's a problem, and see if you can solve that problem that they potentially have. So it's just asking questions. What's going on? How long you lived here? Have you ever thought about selling? I'm an investor. I'm an appraiser. What are you going through right now? You ever considered selling? If you did, what would you sell for? Just going through the whole conversation and trying to learn what's going on so that if they do want to sell, you can present some solutions to them.
Yeah, of course. I just didn't know if him being of old age would play a factor in or not, because most people don't want to move whenever they're older, and especially if they've lived there for 30 years or so.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I mean, uh, sure, but I mean, maybe he does want to move. How would you just won't know until you call him or talk to him.
Yeah, and then that was another thing with this one too is trying to figure out his phone number. I found a couple phone numbers, but like I said, I'll reach out to him whenever I get back to my office.
Or go do this. Go knock on his door and talk to him.
Yeah, that'll be a best approach.
Matter of fact, I mean that approach probably works better with him than call him on the phone.
Got it.
All right, good work, Eddie. All right, pitches. Any more questions before we dive into pitches? All right, who's first? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We're gonna go with Rick.
Okay.
All right, Rick. Do you want me to pull something up?
Pull up the one for, I sent you the MLS and the rent roll, such that it is, for 117 North Black Horse Pike. I sent that to you this morning.
Okay, Rick. Here we go.
Mhm.
All right, all right, Rick. The floor is yours.
All right. Here we go. So I found this property in the MLS, was it yesterday? It's in Blackwood, New Jersey, which is South Jersey, not far from Philly. And Gloucester Township, we own property. Adam and I own property in Gloucester. It is a 6 unit. Yes, a 6 unit with a garage that's currently being used for storage. The asking price is $649. I asked for a rent roll, and go ahead, Alice. Can you go down to the rent roll? That's not much of a rent roll, but that's what he sent me. So here are the numbers. Um, okay, he says it's going to be $1,100 on one of the places as of March. That extra $100 is not going to make a big difference. The current rent roll is $6,355. A question I asked him, which he has not answered yet, are: do they have leases? Are they month to month? I don't have an answer yet. We can call him. The expenses, I don't have the expenses. However, I guessed the expenses. And I know that the taxes is 9454, call it 9,500. 6-unit, I am guesstimating insurance to be about $3,000 a year. Reserves. Now he says that the tenants pay all their own gas, electric, water, and sewer. I don't know how he has that separated. Maybe he divides it and builds it back. I'm talking about the water and sewer, but he says they pay their own. So I'm estimating insurance to be about $3,000 a year. I'm putting in $6,000. I'm sorry, $3,000 for reserves, and then maintenance at $100 a unit comes to about $7,000 for the year. So I'm estimating my expenses to be $22,500. If I take the $63.55, which is his monthly rent, and I take off 2 months for vacancy, that gives me $63,550 minus 22. I just rounded it off. $22,550 gives me an NOI of $41,000. Divided by 649, the asking price is a 6.3 cap. However, if he won't hold paper, and we have to put, excuse me, on 649, if we have to put 25% down, 25% is 162,250, leaves a loan of 486,750 at 30-year AM at 8.5%, or even a 5-year balloon based on a 30-year AM, comes to call it $45,000 a year, just under a hair under 45,000. So if my NOI is 41 and my my financing is 45, that clearly does not work. So the question I have, I'm going to call him, and Alice, you tell me if you agree with, hey, Isaac, that's his name, Isaac. These are the numbers I came up with. These numbers clearly do not work. If I have to finance it, seller financing at like 5% would work. Would he entertain seller financing? If not, it's not likely he's going to get 649. I actually have not figured out yet what would work if we had to finance it. But Alex, those are the questions.
I think you're 1000% spot on it. And I agree with everything you said. So what I would recommend we do is come up with an offer that would work with traditional financing. Try 500,000 and run the debt on it and tell me what it is.
Okay. I'm going to have to somehow minimize your screen. Are you talking about interest only or amortized?
Principal and interest. I'll do it real quick. Like a real easy way to do it be, 500,000. How much were you putting down?
25%.
All right. So 75% finance, 375, principal and interest at 8.5%. Put us at like principal and interest payments will be somewhere around 36,500-ish. So
still not much.
Still not much, but you'd be cash flowing based on your numbers. And if the NOI is 45, you'd have about $9,000 in cash flow, and you'd be putting down about $125,000. So, it'd be about a 7% cash on cash return.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you renovate it, like, what do you think this property is worth today?
Well, it's worth about $500,000 because we have to use the income approach.
Yeah.
I don't know. Adam has not looked at it, so I don't know what kind of rehab work it needs. He looked at the other one today.
Why don't we do this then? When you call him, ask about seller financing, and if the answer is no, then maybe your offer is somewhere around 400-ish.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And just see what he says.
Okay.
You gonna call him? You want me to call him? We calling together?
I'll go.
All right, great. I'm
Okay,
gonna pull it up on Google Maps. I'll hop on mute.
okay.
Hello, this is Maggie.
Maggie, I'm trying to reach Isaac.
Hi, I can give you Isaac's phone number. What is this regarding?
It's regarding 117 North Black Horse Pike.
Yeah, absolutely. For that, you have to speak with Isaac. I only handle the rentals in the office.
Okay,
Let me know when you're ready to give me his phone number.
go right ahead.
732
Uh-huh,
996
uh-huh.
6665.
Let me repeat that to make sure I have it right. 732-996-6665.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll call him out. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. Thanks. Bye.
Okay.
Right here next to a shopping center.
That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's zone commercial. Maybe not.
Looks like when we get voicemail.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 732-996-6665 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Isaac, Rick Stein here. We've been emailing back and forth about 117 North, excuse me, Black Horse Pike. I have some questions about it. I'm interested, or I'm interested, my partner interested, but we have some questions. See if we can make this work. So if you'd be kind enough to call me at 609-213-7250, I would appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, it is zone commercial. I'm looking at the listing. It's zone commercial. Well, it's a 5 unit, so it would be commercial.
Yeah. Well, I was just curious. Maybe it could be office or something.
Right now it is 6. I mean, maybe it could be made into office, but right now it's 6 residential units.
Yeah. Well, I think good find, and those are my thoughts on it. I agree with you. Seller financing, great. Especially if he'll give you a long term on it. And then otherwise, you got to buy it at a price that makes sense.
Yep. And 750, no, 649 does not make sense. 750
It never
is
does.
another one. Okay.
Good job. Good job, Rick.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. We have who we got next? Timberly, did you find your deal?
Give me a little bit more time. I was working on one, but I want to do a different one. It's one that me and Matt are calling today. So I want to dive into it a little bit more.
All right, Jesse, you're up.
Yep.
If you put it in the chat, I'll pull it up and then give you the floor.
Awesome. I just texted everybody in the chat. But yeah, we just locked up this one this morning, and we're pitching it to you guys first. Already been sending out a few texts and emails there here to the community. So this is a duplex downtown.
Real quick, Jesse. Who are you and who are you with and what do you do?
Yeah,
you gotta tell the people. You gotta tell the people about yourself.
Absolutely. So name is Jesse. I work this position for the machine at Tyfkey Real Estate. TJ's my partner. He's on the call here as well. He just locked this up last night. So we're partnering up to get this thing sold, and this will get sold pretty fast because our numbers are pretty aggressive. And yeah, I can run through the deal, the opportunity here. Um, it's a duplex downtown of Temple, and tenants already in place for both sides. We're asking 150, and that's at 60% of the ARV at 245, right? So the side 8, I believe, is already renovated within the last year or so. The other side could use some TLC. We quoted at 12,000 to 20,000 on the top end for rehab. We also have pictures included in the link if you guys want to check out that. So the seller, she's retiring. She just wants to kind of get rid of her portfolio. So she's been working with us in the last year or so, just helping her find a buyer for these. So but yeah, for this opportunity, there's multiple exit strategies. You can buy and hold this one, and it will cash flow. You're looking at a 350 per month cash flow if you're getting a 7% interest rate on a 150K loan amount. You can also flip this property. The margin is there, at least 30% with our numbers accounted for.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what'd you say? What'd you say you're selling it for?
150.
Okay. All right. And so tell me about this area. Like, what's the ARV on this? Did you say that?
Yeah, so we looked at the comps. ARV is closer to 250. We want to be conservative and just dock it off 245, right? Right now it's renting at 1,350 for both sides. That's below market rent. The potential for each unit is closer to 900 per month. So you're looking at 1,800 after, if you want to renew the lease or, find your own tenant to put in place after the lease expires.
When do the tenant's lease expire?
One side is June 30th and the other one is September 1st this year.
Okay. And then it didn't look like a whole lot needed to be done to the property. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the pictures is for the side that's renovated last year. The other side, we don't have exact pictures or condition from the seller yet, but she did mention that she hasn't worked on it. I have information on the roof here. Roof is about 10 years old. AC is new on the new updated side, and the other one, it's functional. I don't know the exact age for the AC unit for the other one.
All right. And then the tenant who lives in the side that's not renovated, do we know how long they've been in there?
TJ, do you have that? Oh, you're muted.
They've been in there for 2 years. They renewed in September of this year, and that lease expires September 1st. The tenants, from what the seller has told me, are really great. She's terrified to lose them as we go to disposition this. She really likes these tenants and doesn't want the deal to fall apart and scare off the tenants. So the leases will transfer. Day one cash flow, you don't have to worry about placing a tenant or any vacancy. It is below market, so there is opportunity to raise those. She admitted to us that, she likes these people, never raised their rent. Both of them are on renewals, and she was just happy to keep it going. She owns this property outright, so wasn't too
Yeah.
concerned about the increase.
No, I like it. I don't know much about Temple, but I assume Temple has grown similar to Killeen and other areas, up north. But it sounds like this one could hit close to the 2% rule.
Yep.
Mhm.
Well, never mind. I mean, you need to get 3,000 rents for that. But
Well,
based
yeah.
on maybe 1.5%, close to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. So, and the seller, she owns it free and clear, wouldn't seller finance it?
Correct.
All right. And then cash or hard money, how does somebody need to be able to buy this?
So we can do it either way. I mean, even if a buyer wanted to come in with traditional financing, we're not under the gun as far as timeline goes. She was open to even like letting the tenants move out or one side in June and then putting it on the market. We talked to her like time is your enemy on this. Don't worry about the tenants. We will, work that side of it out. So if we had to extend, if we got traditional financing on it, I don't see that being an issue. The most important thing to her is that like the tenants aren't screwed. So
Yeah, of course. Cool. All right. Anybody have any questions for Jesse and TJ?
or a buyer.
This would, yeah. This would be a great house hack opportunity as well. Just need to wait until at least June 30th to move in if you're looking for an investment in house hack.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only difficulty with that is if you're going to use conventional financing, you would want to go low down payment, which you wouldn't be able to do because you wouldn't be able to occupy it from purchase. So you would have to buy it and then refinance it. Is there any outs on either of the leases? Do either of the leases have automatic renewals that they can stay? What are the actual terms of the lease? My major concern on that is the numbers seem great, but she's so far below market. If you keep either of these tenants, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So both
Yeah.
of the tenants essentially need to go or have 20-30% increases.
Yep. So they're on current renewals. It's not an automatic renewal. It's on a Texas contract. We have those in place. We can share those with anybody. Typically how I run things as a property manager is I always give a 60-day notice with rent
Yep.
increases shown in there. You're welcome to stay, but this is the new price. If not, you need to vacate. And we give them 60 days to do so. So, that's what I would advise any buyer doing if they wanted to come up on them, which obviously you would. And I don't see it being too hard to rent out. There's not too much available inventory today. And, June is a really good time to have a lease listing. September's not as good. But, the numbers are pretty strong in place and then great once you're able to raise them.
Yeah, also real quick, the tenants on the newer side had a kid recently or something, so they were already kind of shopping around, ready to be out. And she said that with the right conversation held in the right manner, of course, TJ, that either party potentially could even vacate earlier. So obviously, that all held with kid gloves in regards to making sure that they feel it's more her because she had a bad experience with a prior investor who came in. So, but I don't think it's going to be any problem as far as them being out on time or earlier.
What are they? Are they both 2-bed, 1-bath? What
Two
is
ones.
each side?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Both
2
Both
ones.
ones. Yep.
And with the side that you said that they just had the kid, is that the renovated side or the more outdated one?
I think it's the renovated side.
I believe that's the renovated side, and that's the lease
Yeah.
that ends earlier.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then the other side, she hasn't been in. I think they just had the kid recently,
Yep.
and then the other side, she hasn't been inside in 5 years. So she said it was in decent condition. Obviously we don't have any idea. They've been decent tenants, but I mean that still is a wild card until we open up the door. So
Do we? I know that in the printout that you had there, do we know any more in regards to like the capex on there, the roof, HVAC, anything like that?
Yeah, so the roof is 10 years old. No signs of significant fiberglass showing through. The AC on the finished side is brand new. The AC on the other side is 10 years old. And the water heater in the renovated unit is also new.
correct.
I'm gonna drop my email in the chat. Can you send this over to me, just whatever packet, or can I download whatever this was? Oh yeah, I'm just gonna drop it in the chat. If you want to shoot this over to me, I have a buyer that's been looking to scoop up a rental property in Waco or Temple. So shoot it over to me.
Will do. If you just want to grab that high note link to all the info should be in there, including
Leases and everything.
Yeah, we will email you that.
Okay. Yeah, shoot me over the leases. The main reason why is because the unrenovated side is the one that has the longer lease. It would be more ideal if those were flip-flopped. Just because if you're going to do reno to them, you would want to do it up front and then get, significant increase in that unit.
Yep.
But yep, send it over. I'll download this and shoot it over to him, and then I'll let either of you guys know if I have any follow-ups.
Yeah, and we've teased it to a few people yesterday before we had it locked up. So interest right now is super high.
Yeah.
What I would say is, once you get it, send it over to your buyer. Let us know ASAP. We'd like to do it in community first.
Okay.
But the few people we mentioned it to are pretty hot over it. So there's some urgency on this one.
Cool. Yep, I'll keep you guys in the loop.
Awesome.
That's all I have.
All right. Anybody else have any questions or thoughts? Jesse, TJ, y'all open to anybody here bringing a buyer?
Absolutely.
How do they reach you guys?
I'll put my contact in the chat.
All right. And what else?
Isaac just got back to me. I had left a message for him and just called me back.
All right. We'll call him back in just one sec, Rick.
I'm not calling him back. I just spoke to him.
Okay.
I can tell you what he said to me. Wait if you want.
Yeah. Just give me 1 second and we'll dive into it. What I was gonna say. Oh, do y'all have anything else on the horizon? Or any needs or any buyers that are looking for anything that anybody here might have?
We still have that Corpus, unless you want to pick buyer for Jersey, TJ.
Yeah, so I connected with an investor of mine back in New York. He's got a buyer need in northeastern Jersey, pretty close to the city, looking for a commercial property that will cash flow. He doesn't really care about the use or the business, as long as the numbers are good. His need is to be able to park his mobile pet grooming vans in the parking lot. So he's just like, well, instead of paying for parking for my vehicles, why don't I just dump some cash into a cash flowing commercial building? Commercial's a little distressed right now. And then in my lease, I'll just work out the parking agreement. So kind of a wide net on that. Not looking for something like huge on the multifamily side, probably something, small retail or office, restaurant that has, enough parking where 5 spots wouldn't be missed.
Cool. And then Jesse, what were you saying about Corpus?
Yes, so we still have that sub 2 in Corpus. We pitched last week. It's a small house, 3-bed, 1-bath, and we're doing $30K entry fee with a $70K loan balance at 4% interest rate. So this will cash flow at least $500 per month. Looking for investors just want to park their cash on the side and really passively invest that way.
Did y'all ever reach out to Eric?
Yes, we did. He said he's looking for more multi in the area.
Cool. All right. Great job, guys.
And then Alex, I got one more. I just dropped the link in the chat. We don't have this locked up yet, but I have a call with the sellers after this meeting. We sent them an offer. They're considering it. It's an aggressive offer, but this is a cool property in Spicewood, if you're able to pull it up. Lakefront, 1.5 acres. It's got a 6-bay big workshop on it. Home needs to be, it's probably a gut remodel. It's original from the 60s. Needs a new septic system, new roof, and could probably use a layout change. However, we have the ARVs on this one around 1.1, and we would be trying to dispo it at 625. I went through it with a contractor of mine who I flip homes with, and we came up with a padded budget of around 225 to bring this one back to life. And that includes, layout changes, adding some additional windows, maybe a 2-story deck on the back of that. The opportunity right now is, the best time to buy a lake property is when the lake is dry. So that's what it is right now. This goes out to the center of the Pedernales River. Last time it was filled was in 2018. So, historically dry summer this past year, but the water does come up to the tree line behind the house. So really cool kind of property there.
That's where the water used to be.
That's where the water goes through up to the top of the dock ramp.
Uh-huh. Where's the
So
property?
right there, right where your mouse is. So
Got it.
that dock is not to that property, it's just to the left of it.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. And so all this used to be water.
All that is, yeah, used to be water. Right now there's maybe about a foot of it in the very center of it.
Gotcha. Okay. And so this one, with what you want to dispo it at and putting the money into it to fix it up, you think there's about 300K worth of equity in it after
do.
that?
I do. And that's not including if we get, a flood. A weird thing to root for a flood, but if that lake's full, it's probably closer to 1.5, truthfully. But I don't analyze deals on what could be. It's what it is. And then, that big workshop is another opportunity for somebody if they wanted to make it a barn dominium, or, Airbnb is allowed out here too. So you can make that like a really cool kind of amenity space. It's got a little office in it. It can be mezzanined. It's got plumbing rough for a little bathroom in it. And then there's a separate 2-car garage workshop next to it. So pretty interesting. There's a front gate that's gated. It's a narrow kind of shotgun lot, but it's an 1.5 acres. Yeah, so that's the workshop. That's in the front of the property. So it's got 4 big overhead doors on that front taller part. And then the smaller building is not attached. It's just a 2-bay, but you can fit 4 cars in it.
All right. Yeah, it does look nice when it has water.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, very cool. And so with this one, what's the deal with it? You're gonna let everybody know?
Yeah, so I have a call with the seller this afternoon. She's probably gonna counter my offer if I had a guess. I left a little bit of room in there to negotiate. I came in super low, and we'll see if we can get it locked up. But it is a luxury flip. It's going to take a lot of capital, but for the right person, there's significant spread there, and it's in my opinion, just a cool property. There's not many like that around.
Cool. Well, we're all waiting your response.
I'm hunting hot and heavy, and then that same owner has a 100-foot by 60-foot metal building on an 1.5 acres, not too far from there, that has a car lift in it. It's got a mezzanine for a 2-1 apartment, kind of barn dominium situation. We're negotiating on price there. We're a little far apart, but it's another kind of unique property. If anybody knows somebody who's a mechanic or some kind of contractor that's looking for a big workshop with some living space to do, it's pretty unique, right on a main road out in Spicewood, behind a gas station. It's pretty cool.
Nice. All right. Very cool. Well, thank you guys. Anybody have any questions? All right. Great job, guys. Thank you. All right, Rick, what'd he say?
Okay, he said that seller financing would be available. He wanted to know what I had in mind. He did say that he has a $286,000 mortgage on it, which needs to be paid off. So the down payment would need to be figured somewhere around 290, 300. Let's say 300 because he has closing costs. So I figured out, and so he said, well, what do you have in mind? I said, I don't want to just throw a number out there and then be wrong and have to tell you, oops, I made a mistake. So let me get back to you. So when I hung up from him, I took $360,000 mortgage, and at 4%, based on the 30-year, it could be a 5-year, 5-year balloon, but based on the 30-year AM, came to about $20,600 a year, with a $41,000 NOI, leaves about $20,000 a year cash flow. That doesn't include, of course, the cost of borrowing $300,000 for the earnest money deposit. So I don't have it in my pocket. So, what is your input on that before I get back to him?
Yeah, I mean, you were gonna offer like 50% down at the price he wants.
Well, if he at that price, it would have to be 50, well, a little bit less, because he has a $286,000 mortgage and he's gonna have to pay commission and closing costs. So you figure 300, roughly 300.
Yeah, well, you could wrap the mortgage to where your payment is covering his mortgage plus maybe a little bit to him.
Okay, so I'd have to find out what his mortgage payment is.
Maybe. I mean, let's just figure out what works, right? We know that the NOI is 45, right?
41.
41. So how much cash flow you want to make?
More than $1. Look, if I can make $20,000 a year cash flow, that would be fine.
All right. So then that means the most that you can pay in principal and interest payments is 21,000 a year.
Well, that would be
So that
exactly what I have.
perfect. So I mean your mortgage payment's about 1750 a month.
I have 17, 18. Okay.
There you go. So I would tell him, look, I can pay your price. I'd like to put, less than 10% down, whatever you want, right? Maybe 10K down, 15K down, whatever you offer. And I need my mortgage payment to be, $1,700 a month.
But if I'm putting 10% down, that doesn't pay off his mortgage.
No, you'd wrap his mortgage. So let's say, I don't know if this is the case or not, but regardless, I don't know if you'd want, I don't even know if you'd want 20K in cash flow if you're having to put down 300 grand. That's not great necessarily either. So, let's say his mortgage is $800 a month. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's 800, 1,000, and you're paying him 1,750, then the mortgage would be wrapped and 1,000 of that would go to his mortgage and he would keep 750 on top of it.
Let me ask you, would you like to call him back, see if we can get him on the phone?
Sure.
All right, you want to call him this time?
Yeah. I'll call you. Put your computer on mute so that, because it's still going to be able to be heard, me talking, so that everybody here can call. And then let's call him. This is the seller or agent? Maybe Rick put us on mute.
Okay, so I shall now call him and add him?
Yeah. This is the seller or the agent?
Both.
Great. Tell me real quick how much you want to put down.
10%.
All right. At his price is 650.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have my partner, Alex, on the phone with me. Alex, you there?
Yep, I'm here. Hi, everybody.
How's it going?
Alex is Isaac. He is the owner and the agent for 117, the property we've been just talking about on Blackwood.
Yeah. Hi, Isaac. How are you, sir?
Good, how's it going?
Great. Rick had said that you were open to seller financing, and so just kind of wanted to talk through that and see if we could make that work. One of the ways that, I mean, how are you preferring to do this? Like, I know that Rick said you have a mortgage on the property. That's right.
Yeah, we definitely want to pay off the mortgage. Anything else in terms, like as far as terms of seller financing are kind of up in the air. It's just, we're kind of open to hearing you guys out. We don't have anything specific in mind.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can make the price work with seller financing. What is the principal balance of your loan?
270.
Okay. So the thing about it is
300 to cover
yeah. So we'd be putting down close to 50%, which is possible, but in order for us to do that, we'd have to get, you know, a really, really great payment in order to get the cash on cash we need to cover that 300,000 that we're putting down. So, I mean, if we were to do that, we'd probably need our entire mortgage payment, principal and interest, to be somewhere around like $9,000 a year in order to cover about a 10% cash on cash return on the 300.
for how long?
At least 10 years or so.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not going to happen.
Why not? How long do you need it to be?
Like a year, just to kind of get you guys to refi.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the problem though, is, you know, rates right now, right? So, I mean, if we buy it today with today's rates, it's not going to be much different if we buy it you know, refi a year from now with those rates. We need at least, you know, close to 7 years in order to get all this behind us and refi at the right time when rates are down to hopefully around like 4%.
Right. Yeah, I got you. Listen, I'm sorry. It's really not going to work, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's the reason for that? Do you need all this cash to go do something?
Well, the reason why we're considering selling the property is so that we can reinvest elsewhere. And if you're looking to pay it off in 10 years, it doesn't really, we'd rather keep the property, honestly, even if we got above us.
Yeah. Well, what about a cash
Consider
offer?
your property with other properties. So
What about a cash offer? What's the lowest you guys would go there?
really not, within a few dollars of ask.
Yeah,
We've turned down low sixes already. So
I get it. Well, what other stuff are you guys finding? Y'all looking for multifamily, retail, industrial?
we're looking for multifamily. Always looking to buy multifamily.
What size? The smaller commercial or anything like 32 plus units?
32 plus works.
All right. Rick's been telling me to start investing in Jersey for a long time. We own about 130 doors here in Austin, Texas, and then we own some retail in Florida and some other things we're looking at. And so we would love to check out some stuff in Jersey.
Cool. Yeah, good place to invest now, as are the areas that you mentioned.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe it doesn't work out with this one, but maybe if you find some deals that you're passing on, maybe send them our way, or we can send you anything that we find.
Awesome. Sounds good, man. Appreciate it. We'll be in touch.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, Rick. I don't think this guy has you're on mute.
Okay, if you don't ask, you don't know.
Yeah, I don't think this guy has too much motivation to get rid of this, but that might change as we follow up.
Okay, well, I'll put them in my tickler file and follow up with them like I am with everybody else.
Good work. It sounds like you know, he might be a good multifamily connection in Jersey.
Could be.
All right. Good work, Rick.
Thanks.
Timberly, you ready to roll? Floor is yours.
Good.
You gotta tell me what you're pitching.
Oh Lord. Okay. So this is a connection that I made cold
Timberly,
calling.
you can't
What?
start your pitch to investors off with, "Oh Lord." You gotta start it off with some
I'm
confidence.
sorry.
Let's start
Okay,
over.
sorry. Yes, I am pitching a retail in Ohio.
Can you give me the address?
Yeah. This one might be off the market actually, but this one's on market. It's 5700 Youngstown Warren Road, Niles, Ohio.
Okay. Where'd you find this one?
Yeah, I found this one cold calling LoopNet, making some outside Texas communicate calls and connections with people who are doing big stuff. And this is an agent who does some retail, commercial, multifamily. And this isn't one that I had found. I was calling on another listing of his to get information, and we've just connected ever since, and he's been sending me stuff. So me and Matt are actually talking to him today about this one, and he also sent me a Dollar General that is off market. So that one's super interesting. We're just gonna kind of chat with him about it, and he's just another connection for us.
Nice.
Go ahead.
I knew I'd seen this one. It's listed. I had it on my list.
Yes, this one is listed.
I'm gonna pull it up on CoStar, but go ahead and keep pitching it.
Yeah. Okay. So this one has 4 tenants. It is 100% leased currently. These tenants have been here for a long time, like 2005, 2006, 2007. So they've been renting for quite a while. Some of them have, I've seen like 4 and 5 year term leases. Then they don't, 2 of them end in 2015. So don't have to worry about any leases coming due soon. They are asking 4.75 million for this one. It's 11,500 square foot, and it occupies 1.35 acres. So the tenants are Aspen Dental, Verizon, Great Clips, and a CheckSmart. The thing about this one, it has a good location. It's 10 miles from a major university. He had put in the paperwork that it has some strong demographics. The property is in great shape as far as roof and everything else goes. There's been some major renovations done from the Verizon tenants. They had made in about 10 years ago, they did $370,000 worth of updates. And last year they did $350,000 worth of updates. And that included windows, some interior cosmetic repairs, and they also did some drop off exterior boxes. What kind of interested me in this one was, again, the location. He did say that pricing was negotiable on this one. And this one is a double net, so it has not been made a triple net. So I kind of was eyeballing that as well, since that's something that we're doing with Pace Florida. Some other information, within 3 miles of the property, 38,000 people live in that area, that radius. The owners do own it outright. So I don't know if they're gonna allow seller financing. I'm going to get that on the call today, but I just kind of ran some numbers. I'm kind of need some help with the seller financing, but as far as going and getting a bank loan, so they have their annual at 338,337, and taxes are under 21,000 with their insurance at 4,600. So when I ran,
are the tenants paying that though? Are the tenants paying all the expenses? I assume they are.
No, from what it looks like in here is that they are not. Let's see. I could have read it wrong, but I believe that they are paying that.
It might get billed back. I believe I'm willing to bet you the tenants are paying all the expenses.
Oh, okay. Well, I put that into my calculation, so then that's probably going to be off.
Well, your NOI is just that pure number because the owner has 0 expenses, so that's your NOI.
Yeah. Well, I did an annual debt. So if like I just ran it at their price and then trying to find like the 1% rule as well. So at their price with the NOI, the annual debt was going to be 330,000, which only had like a cash flow of $7,500 a year. But again, that had the taxes in there as well and the insurance. Now, at a purchase price of 3.7 million with the same NOI, minus 300,000 in debt, that gives us the 1% rule, 38,000.
What's what is the 1% rule is great. I mean, if you can get it on retail, that's good. But typically, you're not going to have any operating expenses, right? And so, I mean, if you
If you
can't,
turn it into a triple net, though,
well,
correct?
it should already be a triple net, like Verizon, Aspen Dental, Great Clips. These are all going to be triple net tenants. So whatever they're paying in rent, is going to be what the owner is netting. So what are the current
Got
rents?
Let's see.
The base rent. I don't see a flyer or anything they have here.
Yeah, he sent me everything.
1250 square foot.
So their rents range from $23 to $35 per square foot. So like Verizon's annual is 134,000. And then it goes from Great Clips, that one's 32,000.
Can you send me what you're looking at?
Yeah. Okay, I just sent it over. It's going to be the first attachment.
Okay. Just waiting on it. You emailed it to me?
Yeah. I forwarded it to you.
Brent.
Huh?
Nothing, sorry. Haven't gotten it yet. Maybe it went to spam or something though. What did he send you?
It has like the whole information about the property, gives you like a layout of where the property sits, investment highlights, the property overview, income and expenses, and then like a tenant overview as well.
All right, I'm waiting on it still. Nothing. But anyways, I mean, y'all are gonna talk to him today?
Yeah, we're just gonna kind of chat with him and find out the motivation. This was kind of like a more, even if it doesn't work out, he seems like a good connection. I mean, he's sending me stuff, and he seems pretty involved in the market as well.
Yeah, I think this is a good find. Like I said, I had it on my list right here, and it's blank,
I beat you to it.
meaning the team didn't reach out to it. And I already texted the team and I said, "What the hell are you doing?" We got the list. We got the list here, and people are pitching deals on the list that we haven't called. But good job and good find. And this one, potentially could be a good one. But you're not going to have any expenses here
Okay.
in terms of operating expenses, and it'll all be passed back to the tenant. So whatever the base rent is what you're going to keep. And that's your pure NOI there. So and it's not going to change unless, tenants stop paying rent, but these are national high credit tenants. So it's like unlikely that happens. But let's say the, NOI is 400 grand, and your debt is 300, and you're getting 100K in cash flow after paying debt, it might not be horrible, depending on how you can add value to the property. You know, you wouldn't buy it strictly for that. You'd want to know how can you come in and add value and raise rents or create some value out of it.
Right. Well, I thought this one was double rent. Maybe I got it confused with another property I was looking at. But that's why I was looking at it and was for the double rent or to make it a triple rent.
That's okay. Good job. And great find. Find more of these.
Trying outside of Texas.
Well, if the team doesn't start calling our list, I'm gonna give you the list and you start calling them.
Works for me.
All right, good job. I guess keep us updated on how it goes with you and Matt's conversation.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, anything else from anybody here today? Christina? Welcome.
Hey, sorry, I dropped the boat on that one. I've been a little busy, but yes, I made it. I made it here at least to hear everything. Yes.
You did. Thank you. All right. Anything else?
Rick, where's your deal? Rick, did you bring a deal?
Yeah, he did. You're on mute, Rick, but Rick brought a deal.
I'm kidding. I'm giving him a hard time.
Well, and I have another deal.
All right.
Ooh, yes.
Let's do it. So this is the other one you wanted to look at, right, Rick?
That's correct.
All right.
Okay, ready? Want to bring it up?
Yep, I'm working on it. Go ahead, though.
All righty. Let me look through my volumes of notes and papers and documents. So this is here it is. This is in, well, guess where? You'll never guess where this is. It's in New Jersey. Wow. This is in Gloucester City, and I own, again, South Jersey, and my partner and I own property in Gloucester City. And this is a 5-unit, in that it is a townhouse and 2 duplexes. So you have a building with an upstairs and downstairs apartment, 2 of those, and a townhouse in between. And then the asking price is $750. And I already spoke to him about seller financing. Seller financing, he said, yeah, but we would need $400,000 down to clear debt. And well, that sort of defeats and the purpose of seller financing, doesn't it? And then he would hold the balance at 3%. Well, the 3% is nice, but the $400,000 down is not. Also, Adam, my partner, went through the property this morning, and he says it is a mess. He said that in order to get the properties correct where it should be, probably costs $75,000 to $100,000. So one of my questions is the seller presenting this, it doesn't say in the MLS, as is? Or is he willing to get the COs, which would require getting permits? Because Adam says there are 5 new, I don't remember what he said, there were 5 new furnaces and 5 new water heaters, but there's no permit stickers on any of them. So that could be quite an expense as well, especially if they're not done up to code. So, excuse me, I would like to call him. Also, I don't think if it's going to be in such lousy condition, I don't think it's going to be financeable, because there'll be too many lender required repairs to do it. So I am prepared to call him and talk some sense into him and tell him, hey, listen, the price of $750 is not going to work. I could offer you like $400,000 and see what he says. So what you think about that, Mr. Alex?
I'm ready to hear you talk some sense into him.
Moses at his best.
Come
Let me
on.
see if I can find his. Here it is. All right. Here we go. Let me call him, see if I can get him. Eight five six 810 5712. Here we go.
Okay, that's the first. Use the voicemail. I'll get right back to you. Send it back to me today. Benstead, BNSTV regularly at AOL.com. Thanks. Have a good day.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye.
Okay. I'll send him a text to call me. In fact, I just
All
got
right.
maybe that was from him. Yeah, he'll call me right back. Which property are you calling on? Calling on 230 Burlington. All right, let's see if he calls me back.
All right. Good work, Rick.
All right.
Good job, everybody. Y'all need anything?
Nope.
All good.
All right, everyone. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Reach out if you need anything.
All right.
Alrighty, bye everyone.